Has life ever taken a turn that you did not anticipate? I know it has, for me, so many times. And to keep it real with you, I can't say my initial response was always the most Christ-like reaction. At times, I get angry, sad, hurt, you name it. I felt all of those emotions. Having these feelings is not the issue. The real problem is that I took my eyes off of God. I wanted life to go my way. I wanted to check off boxes on my list. I was so focused on what I considered problems, and I failed to realize that God is in control, not me. God is never surprised by what happens in my life or yours. So if He allows it, there is a reason. Whenever you're tempted to think the worst about life's change of direction, I want you to know that God is never surprised by what happens. There is a reason. Do you ever have times where things just are not going as planned? Maybe you got married several years ago and you had these ideas of casual strolls on summer evenings, of having romantic dinners several nights a week, the picture perfect house with lawns and gardens that are perpetually trimmed and neatly kept, going on holidays with your spouse or partner overseas, but it's not going as planned. Maybe it's your own spiritual life or the spiritual conditions of people close to you. Maybe the plan was that all of your children would grow up loving the Lord. The plan was for them to have children and raise them that way as well. Then everyone would come home on holidays and Dad would cut the holiday bread, and each family member would talk of their love for God and their desire to serve Him. And it would be such a pleasant time as everyone loved each other and got along so well because they loved God. But that's not the way it turned out. Now even the kids are being apathetic about the things of God. They're not following the things they were taught. They're squabbling with each other. Family times resemble battles more than peace and love. In all these things, it can leave us frustrated and leave us thinking why things aren't going the way they're supposed to. But I want you to understand this. Life has a way of giving us shocks and dilemma. It has a way of making us feel happy, excited, joyous, and yet sometimes sad, defeated, hopeless. I've been thinking a lot about the things that don't work out how we planned them or the way we wanted them to. One of my deep beliefs is that God has much greater aspirations for us than we even think are possible. Sometimes we might think something is perfect for us, but God says, nope, you can do better. I can do better for you. So whatever it is that doesn't work out, to us, it comes across as failure or disappointment and can often bring deep sadness. When you start to accept things not working out, you can then start to realize that it's not a complete failure. It's life bringing something better into your life. If there is one thing circumstances teach us, is that we aren't always in control of the things that happen around us. In fact, we are in control of a very few things in reality. That can also scare us into a wave of anxiety. But God says that even when we are not in control, there is nothing to worry about because He is. I know that days may not always end up ironed out and smooth, but in the midst of chaos, we know that there is a God of order who is out to make all things work together for our good, if only we choose to trust in Him, instead of trying to gain control when we are obviously out of it. Here are 7 scriptures to help you when your day is not going the way that you planned it to be. In 1 Peter chapter 4 verse 12, it says, "Beloved, do not be surprised at the fiery trial when it comes upon you to test you, as though something strange was happening to you." Psalm chapter 37 from verse 23 to 24, the Bible says that the steps of a man are established by the Lord. When he is delighted in his way, though he falls, he shall not be cast headlong, for the Lord upholds his hands. This is why the Bible says in the book of Isaiah chapter 55 verse 9, that my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, declares the Lord. As the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts. Beloved, when life doesn't go as you plan, don't focus on what you don't have or what you think you missed out on. Keep your focus on God and pray. He will hear you. God is not a man who lies, neither is he a son of man who changes his mind. Does he speak and not act, or promise and not fulfill? When life takes an unexpected detour and dreams vanish in the blink of an eye, give yourself permission to grieve. You don't have to be brave or to pretend that you are fine or that you have a solution to your troubles. Instead, in your heartache and in your brokenness, cry to God. Lay all of your unrequited dreams at His feet. Seek His face for strength to keep going and to find a sense of balance on a rocky new terrain. Seek His healing as you pray for His love to bind up your brokenness and to cast out sorrow. Seek His guidance as you search for direction and explore God's purpose for your new path. While in the darkness, don't put a time limit on your grief. Don't expect to be fixed by a certain date. Instead, let yourself mourn the loss of your best laid plans and dreams and seek to find God's plans for your new uncharted path. I would like to conclude by saying that remember that every failed attempt is a step closer to success. Don't see failure as negative. Sometimes you have to take off a long list of ways not to do something before you hit on the one thing that works. You've probably heard the famous quote from inventor Thomas Edison. He said, "I have not failed. I have just found 10,000 ways that won't work." Take solace from Edison next time you find a way that won't work. Whenever you try something and it doesn't work out how you hoped, don't view it as failure. View it as a learning opportunity. Take a look at what you did and think about what you could do slightly differently next time. You probably don't even need to start over. Just a small adjustment could bring very different results next time. Many of life's failures are people who did not realize how close they were to success when they gave up. Again, if something is not clearly working, it's important to know when to change tactics. Don't see this as giving up. See it as trying a new approach. A fresh start in a slightly different direction could be all you need to get your motivation back. For example, if you're struggling to finish a novel, perhaps it would work better as a collection of short stories. Or if you fail to get a job in your dream industry, investigate whether there are any volunteering opportunities that could get you the experience that you need. Not hitting your sales targets? Try a new marketing approach. Lastly, keep a list of all your achievements so that you can remember them when things get tough. Whether it was receiving praise from a client, or hitting a sales target, or beating your personal best on the running track, keep a note. When things aren't going so well, take a look at that list and remember that you do achieve great things and you will do them again. God bless you.